Well, guys, I never thought we'd actually do a follow up on this station before. Despite the things that we've spoken about, we've never actually done a follow up. But I feel as though this was necessary just because of how egregious this was, especially with everything that's been talked about and Nintendo being under the public eye right now for their shitty practice.
They've announced the DLC before the game is actually being released. That is absolutely crazy. And I just watched the trailer now, and this game literally looks like it's a PlayStation 2 graphics wise. And we heard so many good things about the Switch 2, about its graphics capabilities. And there are so many good games that are coming out that are on the Switch 2. So why release a game that looks like PlayStation 2 era? Come on, man. And now, because the game, it's Z2A in the title. Now, games going forward, different companies not going to be able to use Z2A because Nintendo's going to put a patent on this. And everyone that is going to buy the game, the DLC, any money that goes into this, is just going to feed Nintendo so that they can sue every company on this earth. Pieces of shit.
Dude, can you imagine if they actually do get that patent? No game can have the word Legends ZA at the end of it. Yeah. It's actually funny because there's a Dragon Ball game called Dragon Ball Legends and Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of like Nintendo might have taken the homework of Bandai there and kind of played with it a little bit, I think. But anyways, so on to this. Yes. A new trailer for Pokemon ZA came out. Now, if you don't know, I'm a massive Pokemon fan. Mostly Pokemon with Nintendo. A lot of their other IPs is just kind of okay. But this caught my eye specifically because they made a couple of announcements. Now we know with Pokemon's Legends ZA, it's going to be bringing back Mega Evolution, which I was at first kind of excited about, but my excitement has been dwindling a lot at a very rapid pace, like your bank accounts in the first of the month. But what really took me back was what this represented. So the trailer is essentially announcing a couple of new Mega Evolutions that's going to be coming to the game. Mega Evolutions including the Carlos starters, which were Chestnut, Greninja, and Delphox. I'm a massive Chestnut fan. I don't think he deserves all the hate he gets. But I was actually very pleased with the Mega Evolution designs. I think they were done really well. And then we also, at the end, had an announcement for a dual Mega Evolution for Raichu. And for once, glad that Raichu's getting love instead of Pikachu. But just like a lot of things, if it's too good to be true, it's probably because it is. I kid you not. After everything that's happened, after everything that Nintendo is doing, they went ahead and released this trailer. And they got a lot of people excited. However, when I tell you why people are upset about this, it's absolutely insane. So that people have been waiting over a decade to get Mega Evolutions, especially because they were the starters that came out when Mega Evolution as a gimmick was released. You can't get them in the base game. You cannot get the items to actually Mega Evolve your Carlos starters in this game. You can only obtain them by obtaining the Nintendo subscription, the online one. The Nintendo online subscription, valued at about $4. $4 a month. But not just that. Not only do you have to purchase a Nintendo online subscription in order to have the chance to get these crystals that you use to Mega Evolve, but you also don't have any control over which one you get. So in other words, so you have to buy the online subscription, rank up on that battle pass in order to get the Mega Stone. And then after you get the Mega Stone, you have to wait for next month to get the next one. So overall, this ends up coming down to what? $12? I think the on special is maybe $7 or $8 if you buy a 3-month subscription. An extra $8 for content on a game that's already going to be priced at around $80 is ridiculous. But then not just that. Remember the 2 Raichus I mentioned? Yeah, you can't get those in the base game either. Those 2 are specifically saved for an exclusive DLC that's set to launch at some point. We don't know if it's going to be on the launch of the game or after the fact, but the fact that the game's not even out yet, and they've already released DLC for a game that's not out yet, and they already have FOMO to push people to get online subscriptions for a game that isn't even out yet. Guys, if I could rebrand Nintendo, I just put Mr. Krabs' face, that's the logo. Because all these people care about is money. And they have fuck all respect for your dollar or your time. You are nothing but cash cows to them. And people are going to purchase this, they're going to support it like sheep. I am disgusted in this. I'm so appalled that we're making a follow-up broadcast in the first place. I brought it back. I said I was done with Nintendo, and yet they still managed to surprise me enough to get me to come back. To get me to come back and tell you how much I hate this company, how much they've ruined their IP. I don't know what more needs to be said, guys. I don't know. And you know what I do know? Is that it's only gonna get worse from here. If you think that this ain't bad, what do you think microtransactions in games looked like when they first implemented it? Before it became egregiously worse? Before these companies realized that they could bite off a finger and get away with it, start to take a little bit of a bigger nip, start to take a little bit more of a bite. Before you know it, their mouths at your wrists, and then you blink, they've taken all the way up to your elbow. And before you know it, because you said nothing, because you sat there like a brainwashed little toddler clapping your hands, Nintendo, shit in my mouth. Because you sat there and did nothing, you're gonna end up out ahead too. Metaphorically speaking, I feel like I have to make that disclaimer. That's a metaphor. In other words, they're gonna take more and more and more. The fact that they feel comfortable enough doing this shit, doing DLC and FOMO Battle Pass rewards, locked behind a paywall, on a game that's not even out yet, on something that we as players are entitled to. If you don't get the Battle Pass when the game comes out, odds are you're not going to be able to get these items. So make a decision, guys, because I don't know what to do other than just give up and walk away.